I think a number of these can be handled by, so what we should probably do is have the drafting committee, the people who got together and put this document together, and they should go through these different suggestions, and the ones that they think can be integrated in rather easily or without much controversy, we should do that. And those that there's some debate over, some discussion over, we should bring them back to the body. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. I'll just make a comment on briefly on the point raised by Jonathan Knack. I think the point is, and we can formulate it that way, I imagine, is that yes, there are a plurality of trends, a plural number of trends within the framework of socialist and Marxist politics, and that we fully expect a very different all of these different trends be reflected within this organization. But on the other hand, it's true that we did set boundaries. We don't expect the emergence of an anarchist grouping within CCPS, which is certainly a trend on the left, but it's not one that our form of pluralism sees as one that we would favor working with inside CCPS, although there are any number of socialist trends that would certainly be welcome within the organization, just about all of them, for that matter. But so I think we could probably work that out. On the question of that Alan raised about democratic centralism, it's not. It mentions that you're expected to go along with to try to implement the programs that the majority agrees to. There's nothing that says that you can't hold a minority position, but maybe we do need to spell that out. And there's nothing that says we're going to expel you if you don't rise up to people's expectations either. But maybe we should spell that out too. So I think there's a way to handle these things, and we should, but maybe not. In which case, those ones that we can handle in the refashioning of this thing, we should bring back to the file.
Just in relation, first of all, I agree with what Carl just said. I think most of these things can be worked out. If I'm not mistaken, that point about the majority was not one of the earliest drafts of the revised document, what was suggested by one of our chapters. So, we can reconcile these things. In terms of a couple of points that Jonathan made, on this question of pluralism, I don't have the original goals and principles document in front of me, but I'm almost 100% sure that it does not talk about pluralism within the framework of Marxism. It says we are both Marxists and pluralists, strangely separating the two, almost implying that they are contradictory and that there's a tension between the two. I just want to kind of reinforce what Carl just said. One of the problems of talking about pluralism abstracted from the basic Marxist framework, which leaves a tremendous range of pluralities, different ideas certainly, but pluralism taken aside from that leaves you with some very strange and difficult problems. It confuses where we are on the left. For instance, I'll give you one example of what I'm talking about. I don't know if Bill Fletcher's here this morning, but at the Left Forum in New York, there was a plenary session which was deliberately disrupted by one of these pseudo-revolutionary outfits, deliberately disrupted, where the aim was to undermine the unity of the left and destroy the possibilities of any kind of significant left impact upon the developing mass social movements in this country, particularly the movements that emerged through the 2008 elections. I don't think we have that problem in our organization. I'm not suggesting that that's an imminent danger. I'm simply suggesting that the concept of pluralism should be solidly embedded within our Marxist framework. I think we have to be responsive to particularly to the growing interest of young people that we see all around us in a more precise and developed concept of where we're going, where we are now, and where we want to go in the future. And I think that Marxist framework is critically important to us. So I think I think we could accommodate this. I think if we have to make some adjustments in language to clarify the fact that our organization is not a closed sect, it's not something where we're asking people to march in lockstep to a specific line. We're certainly not centralist, whatever that kind of phrase, that word kind of connotes. All these things, I think, can be developed. On the other hand, I think this vague, generalized concept of pluralism extracted from our Marxist framework constitutes a problem that just muddies our perspectives and makes our place on the left a little bit unclear. On the question of a commitment to building a new party, yes, you're right. I mean, the original document was much more definitive in that regard. I think the experience, particularly the last 15, 17 years, and the recent experience with the development of mass movements in this country through the electoral process, suggests not that we're retreating necessarily from this. We're simply saying that locking ourselves into some kind of specific form, which has been problematical in the past and which continues to be problematical, and which is separated from the kinds of mass struggles which will help determine the specific form of political independence. I don't think that's particularly valuable or wise, but I think that's something that, of course, we will continue to debate, and we will continue to wrestle with this, either within the context of this statement and certainly within the context of our continuing political work. So we want to keep the lines of communication open. We want to continue to grapple with these things with each other in a spirit of solidarity, certainly. And I hope that we can continue to resolve these problems in the process of refining and improving this state.